Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Lair of Filmaru. Tonight, we will be reviewing one of my favorite anime of recent and of technically the end of 2010 and the beginning of 2020, The Rising of the Shield Hero. A man equipped with only a shield is chosen to be one of the world's greatest defenders. But when a cruel betrayal shatters his reputation, he tries to regain the public's trust while fighting evil alongside a few devoted allies. Oh my god, I just realized now that this sounds like the timeline for Captain America. A guy equipped with a shield ends up being forced on the run, which would technically be Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier. I can't. This show is literally described as the second Captain America movie. And it leads into the redemption, which would be... Actually, no, technically, it would also be Captain America Civil War. What the hell? Anyway, it's still a really good show despite the MCU background, apparently, because the show deals with a lot of dark topics that have kind of pushed a few people away. One of my exes in general, and Cinema Witch, because it deals with sexual harassment allegations. It deals with isolation, harassment, the problem of certain women winning sexual harassment cases despite them lying, because Naofumi was technically framed by Princess Malty, aka Bitch, as she is now designated. And because of her, he is isolated by the country that he was sent to defend, and he is forced into joining up with a slave and joining up with a small bird that he raises from an egg. And the story is essentially his redemption from the false accusations that were placed on him by both the country that summoned him and the princess of the country who made the allegations. Plus, he also has to defend himself from the other heroes that he was sent to this world with. The spear hero literally is thinking with his spear the entire time. And the other two go along with it, despite the sword hero supposed to be the smartest one of the group, apparently, and the bow hero obviously isn't that bright, and so as Naofumi Iwatani, the shield hero, goes on his adventures, he also ends up having to clean up the bullshit that the other heroes created. Whether it's the spear hero, Mifune, I think his name is, trying to save a town from a famine while creating a monster that essentially damages the town and causes a lot more injury and problems that instead of the famine. Ren, the sword hero, kills a monster and leaves the corpse to rot, causing a plague in the village nearby, to which Naofumi has to go and kill the corpse of the now undead dragon, and heal the sick from the town or village. It's not really clear. And even better is the bow hero, Itsuki, who the bow hero decides to be a vigilante and helps a revolution, which essentially puts a new dictator in charge and causes the people of that town to be overtaxed and forced into poverty and famine. So essentially what the other two did, but also much worse for these people who were forced to essentially perform the Trail of Tears. Bravo, heroes. And of course, Naofumi creates a food kitchen and tries to help the people that these assholes did. I mean, honestly, I'm missing any references here. I'm feeling like this is America.
This is America.
The overthrowing of a dictator, which seems like either Cuba or Mexico. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure America has done a lot of this shit. There's the famine, where there are a lot of hungry and homeless people in America. And then the plague, which would be COVID. So, but yeah, no, that's not the point of why we're talking about the show. The point we're talking about the show is it is a redemption story. I mean, we watched Naofumi go through all this shit to end the first season by joining up with the queen of the country, getting revenge on both the king and the princess that framed him and put him through so much fucking hell, leading into the heroes finally realizing how stupid they were. Well, also, I mean, the spear hero is still very fucking stupid. Again, he thinks way too much with his spear, if you know what I mean. On top of that, there's also a lot of references to Japanese and American culture. I think there was a Star Wars reference somewhere in the show. There was a joke about gacha games. There's just a lot of references out there, and it's... You know them when you hear them, but I can't think of them as of right now. I also love the whole... with Season 2, they end up going to another world after they defeat this spirit tortoise, like this giant-ass tortoise that feels like a reference to Native American history and mythology with the tortoise that we are apparently living on top of. So they end up going to another world that is the home of the heroes that they end up fighting during one of the waves. The fan hero, the scythe hero, and now they've got to fight the book hero and the mirror hero. They go to this world that is very much Japanese mixed with European, like part of it is European, while a small country is Japanese. We end up meeting the hunting tool hero, who essentially has a fishing pole, a sword, and other weapons combined into like a well, it's a hunting tool pretty much. So pretty much they go there for the second season to defeat the book hero who wants to create the waves using the spirit tortoise's essence or soul power. We learn about yokai in that world, which Naofumi creates one to try and find Raphtalia because she gets captured. So we now have Rafi, and they reconcile with the other heroes who were trying to destroy Naofumi and the other heroes' world because they thought it would end the waves. So now they're friends. We don't know if we're going to see them again somehow in Season 3, which has been confirmed when Season 2 came out. I mean, when Season 2 was announced during the convention that Season 2 was mentioned. So, yeah, mainly this story is about redemption and trying to clear this poor man's name. Like, when I talked about, I put all my defense points into, I put all my skill points into defense, that anime from, like, last year. I wasn't kidding when I was calling it, Shield Hero Light. Like, compared to that, this is a lot darker and a lot deeper. Like, Naofumi literally goes into some dark places, and only his friends are able to pull him out of it. I mean, he almost gets himself killed a couple of times trying to use the overpowered power of the shield, which was, I believe it's called the Dragon Power, the Chaos Shield. And while most people see isekai shows as only about overpowered protagonists, Naofumi is not overpowered in the slightest. I mean, half the time he has to rely on Raphtalia or Philo to attack these monsters, and it's only when he uses like the Chaos Shield or that one overpowered shield during the second season finale to kill the book hero, does he actually seem overpowered. Like, half the time his powers rely on defense and support. Like, literally the guy's magic is only support and healing, where he's got to rely on Philo, whose magical powers are wind, and Raphtalia's, which are dark and light magic. Naofumi in this series couldn't do any of this without his friends. Like, I know I'm getting to all this bullshit with the power of friendship, but it's true. Like, without him, he'd be on his own, trying to defend himself with these orange ball monsters that he captured in the first few episodes to try and defend himself when he didn't have any party members. And now he's got all these friends, he's got his own land, he's got the respect of the people, and I just can't wait to see us go to Silkbane, the land controlled by the demi-humans, which sees the Shield Hero as kind of a god, or any of the other countries. Like, we're still in Melromark, the country run by Malty and her mother, that Naofumi was summoned to. Honestly, I just really want to see more of this world. I hope we get like a 4th season after Season 3, because while the show is up to date at this point, they're still working on the manga, so Season 3 is going to take part during Volume 10 and I believe Volume 11, it's possible. And I'm pretty sure the show is going to go on for a long time, because we still have to see the other worlds that are a part of essentially the multiverse of this anime. We have to see the rest of the country, because we spent so much time in the other world for Season 2, and we've spent so much time in the country that Naofumi was summoned to that we haven't really seen anything else. And I get it. He's gotta stay where he is to protect the kingdom of Melromark, because he is the hero summoned there, which I can understand why the other countries were really pissed off when the king decided to summon all 4 heroes, despite the queen telling him not to, and the other countries telling him not to, because he was selfish and wanted all the power for his own country. Like most dumb kings do. And, I mean, the show is also based on prejudice because the king and Malty hated the shield hero for some technically we don't know why the king hated him. Apparently the previous shield hero did something wrong to his family. So we're technically still waiting on an explanation of what the previous shield hero did to his family to make him hate the shield hero so much. There's just so much left I need to know about this series, and honestly, from 2019 to now, I've honestly been really excited to review this show because during 2019 it was the biggest show for me. Like, it was a 25 episode show that hit a lot of dark topics and did its best to express the true hate people can have for someone despite not knowing anything about them. I mean, let's be honest, Naofumi is dealt the worst hand possible. Like, he has no clue too much about certain MMO games. He spent most of his time reading or watching anime or playing different games other than MMOs, compared to the other heroes who were into VR and MMOs. He was also forced to try and grab whatever monsters he could to sell to the merchants who hated him and tried to slight him on the prices that they would give to other people. Again, he had to gain most of his party members from a slave trader, because the rest of the country didn't trust him and didn't like him. Partially, I think, because of the church that was in charge of the country, along with the king. They were called the Three Heroes Church, which there was a huge battle between the Pope and Naofumi and the other heroes, because Naofumi was seen as the devil of the shield, and the other heroes were seen as false heroes, and there was a whole big battle near the end of Season 1, which led to us meeting the Queen of Melromarc. And just, there is a lot of stuff in this show that those of you who haven't watched it yet, go watch it, because it is amazing, and I love the story so much, and I can't wait for season 3, because I love Naofumi as a character. I also really love Raphtalia. She's adorable from child to young adult. Like, the lore is pretty awesome, where we learn that demi-humans, no matter what age they are, if they level up, their appearance changes. We also have Philo, who surprisingly becomes a queen candidate for the Philolial creatures, these giant bird creatures, which has its own counterpart in Glass and the other heroes from the other world. Their equivalent are these giant rabbits, where the equivalent to Raphtalia's demi-human people are essentially elves in the other world, as Naofumi concludes. But yeah, obviously I'm giving this a 10 out of 10 for both Season 1 and Season 2, because it is one of my favorite anime out there. It is the definitive isekai anime as far as I'm concerned right now. And again, if you haven't watched it, go watch it immediately because this series is awesome. I mean, yeah, it does have its dark themes like sexual misconduct, isolation, harassment, slavery, stuff like that. But that's what makes this series so good because it shows the dark side that nobody else is willing to show. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the little notification bell for more of my content. And remember, always rely on the power of friendship. That's why me and Silva work so perfectly. Except when he's trying to take as much money from me as possible. Have a great night, guys.